Let's be honest, it is a terrible feeling when the woman you love starts picking at everything you do. You know exactly what I am talking about. It starts with small things. Maybe she makes a little joke about how much money you make, or she rolls her eyes when you dress up to go out. Then she starts comparing you to other men, maybe a guy at her work or her friend's husband. Suddenly, you feel like you are walking on eggshells in your own home. You start thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why am I never enough for her? But I want you to stop right there and take a deep breath. Because in this video, I am going to tell you something that most men never find out until it is too late. When a woman talks down to you, looks down on you, or criticizes you constantly, it is almost never about your worth as a man. It is actually about her. It is about her own hidden battles, her fears, and a quiet power struggle she is trying to win. Today, we are going to look at the 4 real reasons why women do this. I am not just going to give you theories. I will show you the exact signs to look for so you know exactly why she is acting this way. More importantly, I am going to give you the exact step-by-step solution to handle her behavior calmly and bring her back down to reality without you ever losing your cool or begging for her approval. If you make the mistake of dancing to her tune, or if you try to argue, yell, and prove your worth to her, you have already lost the game. She does not want you to react emotionally when she is doing this. Rather, she wants you to handle it a completely different way, and that is what you are going to learn right now. Our mission is simple: to help you build deeply respectful, emotionally healthy relationships. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for your incredible support. And if this is your first time here, my name is Isabella. This is me telling you to subscribe right now, because every video on this channel is designed to help you better understand female psychology, relationship dynamics, and human behavior. Turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I upload a new video. Now let's dive straight into reason number 1. The absolute number 1 reason a woman will start talking down to you or making you feel small has nothing to do with your failures. It has everything to do with her own deep, hidden insecurities. You see, when a person feels bad about who they are inside, they have 2 choices. They can work hard on themselves to get better, or they can try to pull the person next to them down so they look equal. For a lot of women, dragging your confidence down is just the easiest shortcut to make themselves feel big, safe, and in control. It is a basic survival instinct in a toxic mind. If she secretly thinks that a man like you, with your potential, your drive, or your looks, is too good for her, she gets scared. She stays up at night terrified that one day you will wake up, realize your options, and leave her behind. So, what does she do? She goes on the attack before you even make a move. By chipping away at your self-esteem every single day, she tries to convince you that you are actually the lucky one. She wants you to think she is doing you a massive favor just by staying with you. How do you spot this on a daily basis? Pay close attention to how she talks about other people. You will notice a very specific pattern where she constantly brings up her own options. She will casually drop into conversation that other men are looking at her, sending her messages, or trying to take her out. She will say things like, "You are lucky I chose to settle down with you because there are so many guys out there who would treat me like a queen." This is a completely fake story. She knows her true value does not match what you bring to the table. So she creates an imaginary crowd of competing men to force you to put her on an artificial pedestal. Another major sign is how she acts when you are actually winning. If you start going to the gym, dressing sharper, or getting praise at your job, an insecure woman will not celebrate with you. Instead, she will look for a way to ruin your mood. She will make fun of your new shirt, downplay your big win at work, or tell you that your goals are stupid. She does this because your growth terrifies her. If you get too confident, she fears she won't be able to keep you anymore. So she tries to break your spirit early so you stay small enough for her to manage. So how do you handle a woman who is trying to make you feel small just because she is insecure? Most men make the mistake of arguing. They get angry, they get defensive, and they start trying to prove their worth. They say things like, "Why are you saying that? Look at everything I do for you." The moment you say that, you lose. You are literally begging for her approval and showing her that her words have power over your emotions. You are playing her game, and she will beat you every single time. To break this cycle instantly, you need to use the ultimate psychological weapon: absolute, unshakable non-aspiration. The very next time she tries to threaten you by bringing up other men or telling you what she could get somewhere else, do not look angry. Do not raise your voice. Look her dead in the eyes. Stay completely calm and hand her the keys to the exit door. You say something like this: "If you honestly feel that those other men can give you a better life or treat you better than I do, you are completely free to go and find out. but I will not sit here and listen to you bring other men into our conversation to disrespect me. If you want to leave, the door is open. If you want to stay, you talk to me with respect. This response completely changes the power dynamic in 1 second. A woman who is acting out of insecurity relies 100% on your fear of losing her. She expects you to chase her, apologize, or beg her to stay. When you show her that you are totally unafraid of walking away, her fake confidence disappears. She will realize that her words did not pierce your armor. They just pushed her closer to losing you. In most cases, you will see her calm down and back off immediately. On top of that, you must stop giving her your undivided attention when she acts like this. If she is tearing down your confidence to keep other women away from you, do the opposite of what she wants. Do not lock yourself in a room or focus all your energy on trying to fix her bad mood. Keep going to the gym. Keep dressing well. Go out, build your business, and talk to other people with confidence. When she sees that her negative words cannot stop your grind or control your social life, the tactic becomes completely useless. You hold the power because you showed her you don't need her validation to know who you are. The second major reason a woman will belittle you is because she wants to establish absolute dominance and control over your life. Every relationship has an unspoken negotiation for power. When a woman has a toxic need to control everything, making you feel small is her favorite tool. See, she knows that a man who respects himself and knows his own worth cannot be easily manipulated. A strong man says no when things are wrong. So to make sure you never say no, she has to break your radar. She has to make you double-check your own sanity. This is a slow, calculated plan to make your entire existence revolve around her and only her. When you first met her, you probably had a lot of confidence. You knew what you wanted, you had your own hobbies, and you had your own opinions. But a controlling woman sees your independence as a threat to her throne. She knows she cannot run the show if you are standing tall. So she uses targeted disrespect to chip away at your foundation until you feel like you can't even make a simple choice without her permission. The clearest sign of this power play is the toxic comparison game. She will constantly bring up other men like her friend's boyfriend, a coworker, or even a random guy on social media and compare your lifestyle to theirs. She will say things like, "Why can't you handle things the way he does?" Or, "A real man would have fixed this by now." She is deliberately setting up a game that you are designed to lose. No matter how hard you work or how much you provide, she will always move the goalpost so you feel like a failure. This is exactly how good, strong men end up trapped in relationships where they take constant abuse and never leave. They didn't start the relationship as weak men. They were slowly broken down over time. By letting her become the only person who decides if you are doing a good job, your life becomes tied to her mood swings. You start asking for permission before you go out with your friends, before you spend your own money, or before you make a move. You become paralyzed by the fear of upsetting her, hoping that if you just please her one time, she will finally show you some respect. To destroy a control tactic, you have to refuse to play the game entirely. The biggest trap men fall into is trying to defend themselves against her bad comparisons. If she says, "Why can't you buy me things like Marcus buys his girlfriend?" and you start explaining your bank account or how hard you work, you have already lost. You are literally standing in front of her like a child, trying to prove to his mother that he was good. You are giving her the power to judge you. Instead, you need to pull back your attention and your presence immediately. When she starts using comparison or disrespectful words to steer your behavior, do not argue. Do not yell, and do not try to explain yourself. Yelling and arguing are just forms of emotional energy. It tells her that she successfully shook your state of mind and that she still controls your thoughts. Instead, stay dead silent. Give her zero emotional reaction. Walk away from the conversation and start making your own executive decisions without asking for her input, her feedback, or her validation. If you want to go hang out with your friends, do not ask, "Is it okay if I go out tonight?" Just inform her calmly. "I am heading out with the guys tonight. I will see you later." If she starts screaming or trying to use guilt to pull you back, do not engage. Walk out the door. You need to show her through your calm, decisive actions that your life moves forward with or without her permission. When a controlling woman realizes that her insults are no longer forcing you to chase her approval, but are instead causing you to pull away completely and act like an independent leader, the control machine breaks down. A woman cannot control a man who is perfectly comfortable leading his own life and ignoring her tantrums. You must become the sole judge of your own value. When you validate yourself, her ability to manipulate you disappears completely. The third reason a woman will constantly belittle you is because of deep-seated dissatisfaction and hidden resentment. But here's the trick. This dissatisfaction is almost never actually about you. In this situation, her sharp words and bad attitude are just misdirected emotional damage. She might be completely miserable with her own life, her career, or her past choices. But because she doesn't have the emotional maturity to deal with her own issues, she uses you as her personal emotional punching bag. A lot of times this happens when a woman enters a relationship carrying massive baggage from an ex-boyfriend she never fully got over. Maybe she wanted to be with a certain type of guy, but it didn't work out, so she settled for a good man like you. She comes into your life with the mindset of, I just want a man who will take care of me and fix my life. She is looking for a savior, not a husband or a partner. The moment real life happens, or the moment you cannot fulfill every single one of her unspoken, unrealistic emotional or financial demands, she gets bitter. You will know you are dealing with this type of resentment when you see a total breakdown in normal communication. A woman who is just unhappy with her own choices stops trying to solve problems with you. Instead, every single interaction becomes a setup for a passive-aggressive dig. She will roll her eyes when you speak, sigh heavily when you enter the room, and use generalized statements like, "You always do this," or "You never do anything right for me." If you sit down like a mature man and ask her, "Hey, what is really going on? Why are you upset?" She won't give you a straight answer. She will say nothing, or she will bring up something stupid you did 3 years ago that has nothing to do with today. She doesn't want to fix the problem because you aren't the problem. Her own life is. But because she refuses to face her own failures, she projects all that bitterness onto you, trying to make you feel like the reason her life isn't perfect. When a woman is treating you poorly because of her own internal bitterness, you must never lower yourself to her level by trading insults. If she says something nasty and you fire back with your own insult, you are just feeding her resentment. You are giving her the perfect excuse to justify her terrible attitude. She will tell herself, "See, I knew he was a jerk. I have every right to treat him this way." You cannot heal her bitterness by joining her in the mud. Your move here is to draw a line in the sand that is completely immovable, and you must attach an immediate consequence to it. You need to look her in the eyes and deliver a calm, final boundary. You say, "I can see that you are frustrated and unhappy right now, but I will not tolerate being spoken to this way. I am a grown man and I am your partner, not your punching bag. If you cannot talk to me with basic respect, I am going to leave this house for the night and we are going to seriously consider whether we should even stay together." And here's the most important part. If she opens her mouth and says one more disrespectful thing after you give that warning, you must stand up and walk out immediately. Do not stay and argue for another 10 minutes. Do not try to get the last word. Just leave. A boundary without a real consequence is just useless noise. You have to show her that your presence is a privilege, and the price of admission into your life is respect. By pulling your presence away completely, you force her to sit alone with her own toxic thoughts. She will realize that she cannot use you to vent her frustration anymore without risking losing you forever. This forces her to make a clear choice. She will either do the hard internal work to fix her attitude, or she will choose to walk away. Either way, you win, because you refuse to let anyone turn your peaceful life into a war zone. The fourth and final reason a woman will belittle you is something very primal, and it is something every single man needs to understand. She is testing your masculine core. In the dating world, people call this a test. It is not always a conscious plan. Most of the time, it is an unconscious biological reaction. A woman needs to know that the man leading her is strong enough to handle the pressures of the world. And the easiest way for her to find out if you are truly strong is to test your strength herself by pushing against you. You will see these tests pop up in the form of sudden random challenges to your authority. She might make a slick comment about a decision you just made, or she might question your ability to handle a situation in public around your friends or family. She will say things like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing because it doesn't look like it?" Or she will mock a goal you are working toward. She is looking directly at your face and your body language to see your reaction. She wants to see if her words will make you doubt yourself, make you angry, or make you lose your cool. If you immediately change your mind just because she questioned you, or if you start frantically explaining why your plan is good, she notes that down as a failure. She realizes that your confidence is fake and that she can shake your entire reality with just one sentence. A woman will continue to belittle and push a man who fails these tests until she completely loses all respect for him and leaves. How do you pass a masculine core test? You pass it by doing absolutely nothing. You pass it with complete emotional detachment and amusement. When a woman throws a verbal dagger at you to see if you will shake, you must look at her like a father looks at a toddler throwing a minor tantrum in a grocery store. You don't get angry at a toddler. You just smile because you know you are the adult in the room. The next time she tries to challenge your capability or mock your plan, do not argue. Do not defend your credentials. And do not get upset. You have two highly effective options here. First, you can use calm alpha silence. Just look at her. Maintain strong eye contact for 3 seconds without saying a single word. Shake your head slightly with a small smirk and go right back to doing whatever you were doing. This tells her, your words are so small, they don't even deserve a response from me. Your second option is to agree with her joke and amplify it to show her that her words have zero weight. If she says, "Wow, you really think you can build that business? You don't look like a CEO to me." Do not get mad. Smile and say, "You're totally right. I'm actually terrible at this. I'll probably lose all our money by Tuesday, so you better get ready." When you laugh at her attempt to make you feel small, you completely destroy the power of the insult. You are showing her that your confidence is so deep and so solid that her little words can't even scratch the surface. When a woman sees that she can scream, push, criticize, and challenge you, but your emotional state stays perfectly calm and your plan stays exactly the same, something amazing happens inside her. Her anxiety drops. She realizes that you are a true leader who cannot be shaken by external noise. She stops belittling you because she got the answer she was looking for. She knows she is safe with a man who holds his ground. At the end of the day, you need to understand one fundamental law of life and relationships. People will treat you exactly how you teach them to treat you. If a woman talks down to you, drops a passive-aggressive insult, or tries to look down on you and you stay silent, accept it, or try to laugh it off to keep the peace, you are teaching her that disrespect is allowed in your house. You are giving her green lights to keep doing it. You cannot buy a woman's respect by being nice after she insults you. You cannot love a woman into treating you better if she does not value your masculine core. Respect is the absolute foundation of any healthy relationship and any lasting marriage. If you do not have respect, you do not have a relationship. You just have a countdown timer ticking away until the whole thing blows up in your face. By standing tall, staying completely calm, and using the exact strategies we talked about today, you are setting a non-negotiable standard for your life. You are letting her know that your peace of mind and your self-respect are more important to you than her temporary mood swings. This creates a genuine win-win situation for your future. A good woman who genuinely loves you, cares about you, and wants to build a beautiful life with you will see your strength, adjust her attitude, and step up to meet your standard. She will actually respect you more for standing up to her. On the other side of the coin, a woman who is just toxic, controlling, or looking for an emotional punching bag will realize that she can no longer manipulate your mind or run your life. She will get frustrated that her tactics don't work anymore, and she will choose to pack her bags and walk away. And I want you to understand that her leaving is a massive victory for you. It frees you from a trap and clears the path for you to find a peaceful, healthy relationship with a woman who actually appreciates the man you are. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these 4 reasons? Have you ever dealt with a woman trying to shrink your confidence or test your strength like this? Leave your stories and your thoughts in the comments section down below. I read and reply to as many as I can. If you found this video valuable, take a second to hit the like button and share it with a friend, a brother, or someone who could benefit from hearing this message. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Once again, my name is Jills Garain. Stay strong, stay calm, lead your life with absolute certainty, and never stay small for anyone.